And we're live.
So he showed us his cool talent, and so then we started digging deeper, wanting to know more about him. It turns out Blaise has acted in a few movies. How many is it? 3, 4, 5?
So I mean, acting in probably around 3 that I've like done significant.
And you've been like
in,
an
and
extra in maybe
yeah,
two or
I've
three
been like
more.
yeah, maybe like a 1 day thing or
You've
a couple
you've
days.
sort of rubbed elbows with a couple of Hollywood A-listers from time to time. You had interest. I don't know. And just say yes or no right now. Do you want to tell the story about Tom?
I don't want to burn any bridges with Tom.
Okay, I understand that.
But yeah, I can talk about some other people. Chuck Zito is one that was very interesting for me to meet from Oz.
Yeah.
So I could talk about him a bit or some other people.
I wanted to get the clearance with you before we started talking about that other guy because I understand burning bridges. I have people like that in my life who I'm not always proud of the things that they might do personally or on the internet. But that's kind of my guy, and I got a connection with him. We work together, whatever.
Yeah, so definitely. And my experience with Tom has been great. He's been very nice to me. So
yeah,
the stuff that we were talking about was.
I loved Castaway.
I wonder how many people think Cruise. Oh, you went with Hanks. I had
and you ruined it.
No.
Oh, you don't.
I just they don't know who it is.
I want to know about Chuck Zito
now.
Well, we did it simultaneously.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe you ruined it.
So Chuck Zito is Chucky Pancamo from Oz. The guy, when we were talking about Oz, he was the guy that we were bringing up, the Sicilian dude who, more than anybody else in that prison, it was very apparent that he did not care when you threatened him. Like everybody else, like even if it was Adebisi, like, hey, you watch your back, Adebisi. And he'd be looking around, like if you went up to Chucky and were like, hey, be careful, Chucky, he'd be like, oh, I bet, buddy, oh, I'll see you around. Oh, real scared. But what's he like? Is he a pretty scary man?
Yeah, so by the way, just a little bit of a backstory with it. So I'm a full-time actor and magician, just for the people that are watching, and so I'm trying to pursue entertainment as a career. But anyway, so Chuck Zito, what was really interesting is that when I first met him, I had a scene with him in this movie called House Rules, and so I met him for the first time. I was introduced to him, and the person that introduced me to him was one of my mentors, David Gear. And so he introduced me to him, and he said that I was a magician. And then Chuck Zito's first response was, oh, I'm a magician too. And I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, I make people disappear. And I was like, oh, okay. Because Chuck Zito actually was like one of the top people in the Hells Angels biker gang in real life, I think, especially in the New York sector. And so that was kind of freaky, just because he is this big guy that I know actually, did that. I knew who he was like going into it. So that was freaky. And so then after that, there was another project that we were both a part of, and I ended up having dinner with him. And so we were talking to each other for a couple hours, and he was a very, very nice guy, and he was telling a lot of stories, and he was hilarious. And he was talking a lot about hanging out with Howard Stern and bringing him to different places in New York and hanging out, and how he would bring stars to meetings with the Hells Angels. And so that was really interesting. And I got to perform magic for him. And very interesting guy and hilarious, but also pretty scary when I first met him.